Shalom, yes, your brother. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashum, Yahushai, Ba'ashum, Racha Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, peace and blessing to those Le'akim that's preached the word in all truth and sincerity, along with your Israelite foreigner brothers that are like the heathens, but the line on false side goes back to the nation of Israel, which nation of Israel are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans through the prophecies and curses of Deuteronomy 28 chapter and throughout the Bible. So this is brother Yakar, a mop of the lesson, and today's lesson will be entitled Other Curses Outside of Deuteronomy 28 chapter to prove we are Israelites, which is of course us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and I'm just gonna do a lesson on it and a little willing. You brothers and you sisters out there be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemon Shai, which Deuteronomy 28 chapter is the main chapter we go to, um, when we to identify us being the Israelites by way of the curses, which were prophecies, but there are other avenues, other scriptures to go to prove that we are also Israelites outside Deuteronomy 28 chapter, you know. And so I just want to go into it. And once again, Lord willing, you brothers and you sisters out there be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemon Shai, you know. And let's start off with the first scripture, which is Joel 3:3. And it says, and they have cast lots for my people. And that's right. And they are the Edomites, the so-called white man, and they did this. They cast lots for my people. That was the auction blocks. When Esau will, bet on a slave on our forefathers and foremothers to sell them to other, slave owners to different plantations, man. And he did that with the southern kingdom, the so-called Negro tribes from Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and the northern kingdom from Ephraim all the way down to Issachar, which are the so-called Latinos and Native Americans. And just want to show a picture, as you brothers can see. Esau, these Edomites, he's selling a Israelite child, man, Israelite baby, to another slave owner. And as you brothers can see, the Israelite woman is begging Esau not to sell her child, man, you know. And I have another picture to prove that this happened with the so-called Native Americans as well, you know. See, they're on auction blocks, So this didn't happen just to the so-called Negroes. This happened to the so-called Native Americans and Latinos as well, man. Proving that we are the same people. You see, and they will always, they will be like sold, you know, uh, you know, $10, $20. You know how they speak real fast, and they be like sold. So that was them auction blocks, man. You know, it says it says and have given a boyfriend harlot. Yeah, because they were using Israelite males, strong Israelite males, as male prostitutes to breed with other Israelite women, to breed strong children, Israelite children, because you had a term called bucks. Esau will call a strong Israelite male bucks that had, that was very muscular, very strong. His genetics was strong. He had all his teeth in his mouth and, just very, very, had a very strong frame. And Esau would call them bucks, you know, because they were very, very strong Israelite men. And Esau would use the men to breed with other Israelite women to produce offspring, you know, to produce more slaves, you know, and also male prostitutes because Esau was, no, Esau get down. They moles, so they will pop the male slaves, man. You know, which is sodomy. It says, and sold a girl for wine that they may drink. Right, so they were stealing, our Israelite woman, little girls, little children, for wine, man. You know, because it was a triangular slave trade. You know, because it was a triangle is 3 points. You see, and I just searched up a picture right here. It says, so on the right here is Africa. The top is Spain, and of course the left are the Americas. So I'm just gonna read it. It says Europeans take, which the Europeans are the Edomites, take pots, pans, guns, alcohol, and the horses to Africa, man. You see? So it says alcohol because they were selling, as it said in the prophecy, and sold the girl for wine, and wine is alcohol. You see, and they were the Hamites, the so-called Africans, the real Africans. They were an ally with Esau doing this, man. It says Europeans take slaves to the Americas, and Europeans take sugar, cotton, rum, tobacco, and coffee back to Europe. So this is a triangular trade. 3 points, you know, from Africa, uh, mainly West Africa, you know, to the Americas, and then back to Spain, you know, which brothers can read, go into it more, but just want to, you know, highlight what was going on during that time, you know. And let's keep going on. It says, verse 4 says, yeah, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre Zidon, which are the Hamites, the real Africans, man, you know. It says, and all the coast of Palestine, which are the Arabs, because the Arabs, which they are the Israelites, they were the ones that built the slave ships, the cargo slave ships, man, you know. And it also was a sub-Saharan slave trade as well too. So Arabs, they was having the Judah as slaves, man, you know. And I'm just trying to find a picture on that. Yeah, I found one, Akim. So this was an Arab, during the sub-Saharan slave trade, which when the Arabs, the Ishmaelites, they had Judah as slaves, the southern kingdom, you know. And as you can see, the Arab right there, the Ishmaelite, and Judah as slaves, you know. So they were, they had slaves as well too, man. And all these heathens, they're gonna have to pay for that. It says, in all the coasts, going back to Joel 3 and 4 in the middle, it says, in all the coasts of Palestine, will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head, man? Because the Lord is all about payback, you know? And all these heathens, they're going to get paid back in the kingdom for what they have done to the apple of the Most High's eye, to the children of Israel, man. And it reads, it says, verse 5 says, because you have taken my silver and my gold and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things, man. That's what happened, you know? Storm with Esau, they stole everything from us, you know? Our silver and our gold, everything, you know? It says, verse 6, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, which the children of Judah is the southern kingdom once again, you know, from Judah going down to Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and the children of Jerusalem are from Ephraim going all the way down to Issachar, the northern kingdom, the so-called Hispanics and their American tribes. It says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians. Now, when you look at that word Grecian, you know, Grecians from the Hebrew word Yawan, which Yawan was one of the sons of Japhet. Now this is not talking about the actual, Samoans and Polynesians and Etruscans, this is talking about the Edomites, because the original Greeks were the Japhetic people, the Etruscans, but, you know, we know Esau stole their nationality and, start calling themselves Greeks. So this is really talking about the Edomites. This is not talking about the Japhetic people, you know. When it says Grecians, it's talking about the Edomites, because they stole Japheth's nationality, you know. It says that you might remove them far from their border, right? Our border is our land, Israel, you know. So all these heathens, you know, these Hamites, these Ishmaelites, you know, they're gonna pay for what they did, man. As well as the other heathen nations that was allied with them, according to Psalms 83rd chapter. You see? So, Judah, so all 12 tribes collectively were sold to the Edomites, you know, as slaves. Basically what the scripture is saying. Now let's go to the next precept. Numbers 23, verse 9. It's like, let me just for edification's sake, I just want to prove that, Yawan Javin was one of the sons of Japhet. Just want to prove that real quick. This is Genesis 10 and verse 2. It says the sons of Japhet, Gomer and Magog and Madai and Javin and Tubal and Meshach and Tyrus. Now we go to Javin, which is really Yawan in Hebrew. It's from the Hebrew Yawan, which means Ionia or Greece, So once again, it's not time out, when you read, let's go back to it, you know, just for edification's sake. So Joel 3 and 6, I read it again, says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians. Now the Grecians is not talking about the Japhetic people. This is talking about the Edomites, because the original Greeks were the sons of Japhet, but this is talking about the Edomites because Esau stole the Greeks' nationality. He conquered that Japhetic land, that region, and he started calling himself a Greek. So this is talking about the Edomites. It says that she might remove them far from their border. That's right. So just wanted to prove that real quick, slack you. So now let's go to the next precept is Numbers 23 in verse 9. It says, and this was when Balaam was a warlock, he was a heathen, that the Lord, was basically Balak, the king of Moab, had hired Balaam, which he was a warlock, to curse Israel. But the Lord put the spirit on Balaam to bless Israel, and this is what Balaam is saying, this is Numbers 23:9. Brothers can read the whole account, But this is Numbers 23:9. It says, for from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, which talking about the Israelites, and shall not be reckoned among the nations, man. That's right. Reckon meaning recognize, because now we don't have a seat in the UN. We don't have an army, which really we do have an army, but talking about like a physical army as of now because we have been conquered by Esau, But we're not recognizing among nations because, we're in a cursed state, So that proves we're Israelites, not us being not reckoned among nations, which the least of these heathen nations know who we are But as far as for the common heathens, you know, they don't know who we really are. You know, that covering cast, man. Now let's go to reckon. Reckon is from the Hebrew chashab, which means to think, plan, esteem. Let's see, to be accounted, be thought of, be thought, to think upon. Yeah, we're not thought upon in this society, man. The scriptures talk about who shall bemoan thee, in the book of Jeremiah. So these heathens, they don't give a damn about us, man. So that's another precept to prove we're Israelites as well. Now let's go to Amos. Let's go to Amos 7, verse 17. And it reads, it says, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, thy wife shall be an harlot in the city. Right? So the Lord is saying that thy wife is going to be a hoe, because a harlot is a hoe in the city, man. That great city, America, Babylon the Great. And that's all you see in America, man. All our women from all 12 tribes, so-called Negro, Latina, Native American women, all hoes, man, for the most part. They wear skimpy clothing, see-through clothing, uh, these women, they don't be wearing, panties, they don't be wearing bras, they seek for attention, seek for male validation due to low self-esteem. It says, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, man. And that's what we're seeing now, by way of black culture, Hispanic culture, Native American culture, you know. And also, when the Lord put his spirit on Esau, to take Jake out, man, in these shootings, which happened recently in Buffalo, New York. With that Edomite shot out all them, all them Israelites, them old Jakes, Jake and Jake woman. It says, and thy land shall be divided by line, and thy land is divided now, by the Arabs and by the Amalek, the small hats. It says, and thou shalt die and pollute the land, and that's what we see now. People dying in this polluted land, which is America. We are really the prey that departeth not, and Esau is the predator. It says, and Israel shall surely go into captivity for his land. That's what happened, due to, our forefathers being disobedient to Yahweh Shemashai, worshiping other gods, man. So that's another one. So Zechariah 11:5. That's how verse 4 it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh my God, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them, and whose are possessors? Esau. Esau slays us, right? And hold themselves not guilty, right? In their court system, they get acquitted. Even in today's day, it could be, you can actually have, a video film that Esau, pulled out a gun and slew Jake, and they still get acquitted. But why does that happen? Because this is their kingdom. All their laws, legislations is created for them, It says, and they that seldom say, blessed be the Lord Yahweh, for I am rich, right? Because really that's and they that seldom say that's talking about the Edomites, the elites thereof, the Rothschilds and them, because really you are blessed when you have slaves, So they are blessed right now because this is their kingdom, the Edomites' kingdom, and they're rich. It says, and their own shepherds pay them not, right? So our own people, the shepherds will be these celebrities. They don't care about us, man. They don't. You know, as long as they getting they bag of money, they good, man. You know, all they do is just sow discord among our people and uh, sell our people off false, false sense of security, false sense of hope. To trust, to keep trusting in their oppressor, man. Do good, get a job. Teaching our people just to be a homeborn slave. You see, so they're part of the problem as well too. 2/3 of our people, the celebrities and stuff, man. You know, because they're leading our people astray, man. As it says, let's get it real quick. Isaiah 3rd chapter. See, Isaiah 3:12 says, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err," which means to sin, and destroy the way of thy past, man. Right. So these celebrities of our people, they cause our people to sin, you know, um, by way of these, music, the music industry, for example. That's a great example of music industry. Promoting to our people to sin, which is committing adultery, smoking leans, weed, you know, popping pills, you know, just being a totally degenerate, man. You see? So, um, promoting to our people to do crime, you know, with these when they had guns and they music videos and stuff. Uh, yeah, so that was that one. Now the last couple precepts is Daniel. Let's see, Daniel 9, verse 9. It says, "To the Lord our God belong mercies and forgivenesses, though we have rebelled against him. Neither have we walked, neither have we obeyed the voice of Yahweh our God to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets." Right, so that Daniel's just reiterating, what was going on with our people, why we were in captivity. Because during this time, Daniel, he was a prophet during the Babylonian captivity, man. You know, it says, verse 11 says, "Yeah, all Israel had transgressed thy law," which transgress means to sin, "even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us in the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of Yahweh, because we have sinned against him. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem." Right? So, in other words, no heathen nation has went through the things that no heathen nation has went through the things, you know, um, as Israelites do, man, have been through. Went through transatlantic slave trade, the Indian Removal Act, you know, Trail of Tears, you know, and we're still here as a people, man, because it's the Lord's mercies that we're not consumed. The Lord put a heavy spirit on our people as a nation to endure these things, man. Why? Because in the prophecy, it says that one people shall be stronger than the other people. And that one people that's stronger is us, Jacob, us Israelites. And we're stronger than Esau, the other nation, and these heathen nations as well. You know, it says, verse 13 says, "As is written in the law of Moses, all this evil has come upon us, yet made we not our prayer before Yahweh our God, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. Therefore had the Lord Yahweh watched up upon the evil and brought it upon us, for the Lord Yahweh our God is righteous in all his works, which he doeth, for we obey not his voice, man. That's right, man. Which the Lord's voice are his prophets, you know. So, no, this another precept to prove more curses, outside of Deuteronomy 28 chapter. And those were the only ones I had, and Lord one I was edified. And so with that, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Machal Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and blessing to those that Akim that's preach the word in all truth and sincerity. Shalom, Micah.